It started with a gut feeling literally. I'd wake up bloated. Not a little puffy bloated, but painfully swollen. My energy was low, my focus was foggy, and my skin had this strange yellow tint that no filter could hide. Something was off, and I knew it wasn't just aging. Then came the blood test. Elevated liver enzymes. The doctor tossed around the term fatty liver like it was a normal part of being in your 30s or 40s. Very common, they said. Just clean up your diet a little. But here's the thing. I wasn't eating fast food every day. I wasn't a drinker. I didn't smoke. So how did I get here? That question led me down a rabbit hole, and what I discovered changed not just my liver, but my entire approach to health. And it all started with one surprising food. Now, before I reveal what that food is, let's talk about what no one tells you about fatty liver. For years, fatty liver disease was blamed on alcohol. But today, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, is affecting millions of people who've never had more than a glass of wine at dinner. What's worse? It doesn't come with loud, obvious symptoms. No pain. No alarms. Just subtle things you ignore. Tiredness, brain fog, stubborn belly fat, that annoying rash on your back, or the occasional acid reflux that never quite goes away. And behind it all? A liver that's overloaded, inflamed, and drowning in fat. The deeper I dug, the clearer it became. This wasn't just about my liver. It was about everything: my hormones, my metabolism, my energy, my mood. Your liver is the hub of your internal world. It filters your blood, processes your hormones, manages your cholesterol, stores vitamins, and controls how you burn fat. So when the liver's clogged with fat, everything else slows down like a traffic jam inside your body. And here's the kicker: the real villain isn't fat. It's sugar. Specifically, fructose in refined carbs. We're talking soft drinks, cereal, pasta, white bread, sweet sauces, and even the so-called healthy granola bars that hide behind clever labels. Your body can burn glucose pretty easily, but fructose? Only your liver can process it. And when there's too much, it stores it as fat. And that's exactly what had been happening to me slowly, silently, and every day. So I flipped the script. I started paying attention not just to what I ate, but how it made me feel. And I built my meals around foods that support liver detox, reduce inflammation, and restore balance. That's where the magic happened. The number one food that made the biggest difference? Grass-fed liver. I know I didn't want it to be that either. The idea of eating liver made me gag a little at first. But once I got over the mental block and added it to my diet, even once or twice a week, the changes were undeniable. Here's why it works. Liver, from healthy pasture-raised animals, is packed with choline, a compound that helps transport fat out of your liver. Most people are severely deficient in choline, and that deficiency is directly linked to fatty liver disease. Liver is also rich in vitamin A, iron, zinc, selenium, copper, and CoQ10A. Dream team of nutrients your liver uses to do its job efficiently. And no, you don't have to eat it daily. But even a small amount weekly can help clear liver fat, restore function, and give you that clean-burning energy again. Now, I get it, liver isn't for everyone. But if you're serious about healing your liver, you can't just rely on cutting out sugar. You need to feed your liver what it wants. And it wants egg yolks, also loaded with choline, cruciferous veggies like broccoli, cabbage, arugula, and especially fermented ones like sauerkraut, wild-caught salmon, and other fatty fish for omega-3s, broccoli sprouts, which are high in sulforaphane, a liver-loving, anti-cancer compound, and of course water, sleep, and less stress, but we'll talk about those another time. Let's talk symptoms again. Because fatty liver doesn't just sit quietly. It whispers. Mine whispered in brain fog. In sugar cravings that hit at 3 p.m. like clockwork. In low motivation. In that strange heaviness in my right side I didn't even notice until it was gone. Some people notice itchy skin, acne that won't go away, puffiness around the eyes, or a yellowish tone in the whites of the eyes. Others feel nothing until it's progressed so far that reversing it becomes an uphill battle. That's why catching it early and supporting your liver now matters so much. There's also a lot of confusion around the term MASH, metabolic-associated steatohepatitis. It's the new name replacing NAFLD, but the reality is the same. Your liver is inflamed and overloaded with fat. And this isn't just a liver problem. It's a metabolic warning sign. Left unchecked, it can lead to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. And yes, those issues all feed back into liver damage, creating a vicious cycle. But the good news? That cycle can be broken. Your liver is resilient. It wants to heal. The hardest part? Cutting through the noise. Because mainstream advice still says to avoid eggs, red meat, and saturated fat, despite piles of new data showing that the real enemy is refined carbohydrates and seed oils. The truth is, cholesterol in food doesn't equal cholesterol in your blood. And saturated fat from natural sources like beef or butter isn't what causes fatty liver. It's the daily load of processed junk that sneaks into your meals. The bag of chips, the healthy cereal, the sugary coffee drinks that pretend to be wellness tonics. I had to unlearn so much. But I'll tell you this. Once I removed the foods that burdened my liver and added the ones that supported it, everything got lighter. I felt clearer. My belly shrank. My sleep deepened. And that weird pain in my side disappeared completely. And the food that did the heavy lifting, despite the reputation? Liver. Grass-fed. Cooked gently. Sometimes with garlic and onions. Sometimes blended into burgers. It's not glamorous, but it's healing. And my body knew the difference. So if you're watching this wondering if your fatigue, your bloating, your skin issues, or your sugar cravings might be linked to liver overload, you're not crazy. Your body talks. And your liver? It's often the one speaking the loudest without ever saying a word. Want to feel better? Clear your skin? Improve your energy? Support your hormones? Start with your liver. And maybe, just maybe, don't fear the foods they told you to avoid. Because the answer isn't in fear. It's in function. And a healthy liver is the foundation for a body that actually works.